All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for March Comes In Like a Lion, Season 2, Episode 6. Okay, y'all. The last couple episodes of this show have been
crazy.
Just so good.
Yeah.
So good. So we had that whole thing with Akari in the last episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was that. I feel like was the highlight. As much as there were a bunch of amazing things that happened last episode with like Hayashida talking about the nature of bullying, Haranobu being so excited that his best bud and rival has finally got his head
coming back. Yes,
yeah. And all the stuff that happened with Hina and everything and whatnot. But that was the prime stuff for me.
Yeah. Because we've been with these characters for a while, and all these moments now just hit so much harder because
it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, and specifically with Hayashida making the point to say like Rei has got his passion for this, and that's good. He might be a little bit misdirected in where he's putting that energy. So. Yeah, his intentions are good. He's going to be helpful here, and he's going to be present in his own goals and helping other people's. But maybe some help from the Kawamoto, some help from people like Hayashida, and even Haranobu, can maybe guide him a little bit, just so that he's more effective with what he's doing here.
Although I get the feeling he's going to still end up doing the thing that is the most helpful without realizing that that's the thing that's the most helpful.
Potentially, yes, which is kind of being there for Hina and Kawamotos.
Yep, listening and all of that. Yeah.
Which is awesome. So, yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, we're going to be starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. I love that parallel to
him swimming and the storm coming in from a different direction.
But also the parallel to Kyoko, but in a positive way.
Right.
Because she's constantly likened to a storm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. My savior. Or my lifesaver. That's right. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this magnificent OP.
Clearly, Chef just knows how to do footsteps in openings.
Yes. With those slight off-color pastels, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
With an ambiguous background.
Oh, yes. I gotta say, while this show has so much done in the spectacle of visuals and lighting and everything like that, every time I see the character animation for Momo, I have my heart do like a triple beat.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, she's so adorable.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically the message to weeps everywhere to just start procreating already. Because you need to bring awesome, wholesome floofness like that into the world. Yeah. And that insight you had last episode with like Hina being turned away and then him running across the water, that's just
It's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen Hina wear that pendant. The pendant she was wearing. Hina.
Oh.
The little red triangle thing. I'm going to be on the lookout for it because I don't think I've ever seen her wear something like that. Small world. Oh. Bumping into people you wouldn't expect. Kitties! Going out, kitties! Cherries? Cherries, fresh cherries! Oh my god! I'm so red.
Awesome.
Ah! Those are actually kind of dangerous.
There are pits. Yeah.
Yep. Or are they pre-pitted?
Or she just knows about pits. Probably.
Okay, cool. She is old enough to.
Yeah.
Oh.
And unlike JoJo's, when they eat cherries, it's wholesome as opposed to disturbing.
The cats are like, I don't know about that. No. She sounds like a cat. Do you hear that? Like, sounds like she's purring. Okay. Exactly. We know about that, yes. The cat's like, what? What? Ah!
But doesn't he get to put pieces on if he takes her pieces?
Yeah, he's not. He beat her again. Oh my gosh. Right. Ah! That's amazing. Oh. Okay. Little ripple sent out.
Oof.
Dang, okay.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, wow. Getting a little meta there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Whoa. Wow.
Yep.
Oh. Fun catch! Oh my gosh! This is awesome!
Yeah.
Oh. Ha! This is outrageous! They slink back. Cool. Oh, he got all like reinvigorated. He's like, oh, that's sweet. Oh. See, Hina, you're supposed to catch it in the pocket, not on the palm. Otherwise, it will hurt eventually. But pocket, right there. Yeah. Cool. What do we got here?
Cool.
seeing him kind of make that extra step, I was like, wait, he's motivated. What is he motivated on? It's like, oh. No. 7 figures? 7 figures, Kiriyama? Ah. Oh. No. Find Nikaido.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. You guys realize where where he is right now. Like,
this is...
He was... Like, remember season 1, y'all?
He was not like this.
Oh, here we go. How did I know this was coming? Like right when he showed up, I was like, "Oh, now they're gonna say that she's a flirt. That she's."
See, I was hoping it would go the opposite way, where it would be like, "Oh, I guess she is kind of cool after all," but no.
No. Oh. Attack of the Takahashi. Oh, he heard that. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. The Colossal Titan is here.
Oh.
Nice. Nice. Oh no. Oh no. Jeez! Oh my god! I mean, don't become a bully here!
That was amazing!
Like, dirty
to respect other people's stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, and she shared food with you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh. That's true. That's true, though. Anyone that willingly shares their food, and
this is good here too, because it's not just that he's doing this to like help Hina, you know, but it's because he's also upset that she had to move schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, no good meow. Bad meow.
Yeah. It's not like she's dead and gone or something. Like she still exists.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Oh. Oh, good. Good. Oh.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay. Mm. Him getting on the train, the whole idea of, he can't really get off the train because then he'll lose progress, and Shogi, her being in school, something that she can't just jump out of. She has to, yeah.
Letting it stay on there until the teacher comes in.
Yep. Asking her?
Yeah.
Directly?
Well handled.
Good.
Well handled.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Someone gonna say something?
Yeah, make the teacher erase it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so what's good here is the teacher will start basically taking this a little bit more seriously.
Right.
Hopefully. Now the issue is that Hayashida's prediction could come to light, though.
Potentially. But the thing is that Hina made this decision to not erase it, for instance, that's true. And things like that. So,
yeah, in some ways, she kind of wants.
This is her fighting back.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, she's playing this like a shogi match.
First move.
Nice.
Okay.
All
right. That was a cool. That was excellent. That was an amazing.
Yeah. she's going all 200 IQ.
Well, no. Let's cool our jets a little bit. Mm-hmm. It is a move. The other players have pieces.
Exactly.
She is not playing them like pieces.
But the important thing is that now she's playing in the game, because before it seemed like the worst part of it was that she felt like she couldn't do anything, right?
Well,
she
the game was over.
With Chiho. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The game was over with Chiho, and with them going after her, what was she supposed to do, you know?
Well, okay. Here's my thing I want to basically make mention of, is that Hayashida brought up the whole idea of the escalation being something that actually just has even more dramatic kind of problems and stuff for the person who is the victim of the bullying. But if they go with this route where there's going to be a blend of maybe not just the escalation, but things just being more based on Hina's like, I don't want them to have this be easy. I want to make their lives in some ways kind of painful just to deal with this and stuff.
Right.
That's vindictive. Mm-hmm. The thing is that on some level that's going to stress Hina.
And sure, but the thing is she's already stressed. So
no, obviously. Yeah. But okay, y'all.
All right, this was quite the episode.
This was a very good episode. So,
man,
we went really in depth into the Hina-Rei situation of not just Rei specifically trying to help Hina or trying to be there for Hina, but also how he can basically make his own shogi moves, essentially, from afar to do things like prepping so that he can, make lots of money for his end goals, and then also in some ways call in favors with people like Takahashi, and put him into a position where he can, at the very least, be there on school grounds for Hina, because that's something Rei can't do, at least during school and stuff.
Exactly.
But things escalated.
They did.
And they escalated on both sides. Mm-hmm. And it's just the first move for Hina. Well, this is like move 6 or 7 or whatever for the, for the other girls. But I loved the way Takahashi kind of blundered his way into this, you know?
Yep.
Kind of big and dumb, but it was basically a check against their aggression, if you will.
Yeah, that
kind
was
of reminding. That was allies. Yeah,
exactly. She has allies, which was absolutely wonderful, and because it's basically, I feel like it's basically making it so that way they're bullying her because they're on the defensive, as opposed to just bullying her because they're doing it for fun, right? Because basically now it's not just that, like whatever it was with Chiho, where it's like, oh, okay,
she was easy to bully.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Now it's a thing of like seeing Hina as an actual opponent rather than just some puppy that they're gonna torment.
I just want to say this worries me because
it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Well, no, there's no rule that says it has to get better. One of the things that when I've seen bully situations happen and stuff like this is that what generally happens is an offshoot of what kind of Hayashida kind of scenario kind of plotted out there. But I see more the angle of where the people who are in positions of authority or power, basically like the teachers here or the principal or what have you, what they'll do is they provide basically kind of this policing effect, which in some ways just makes there be zones of areas where things can't happen. But then it escalates dramatically in other areas.
Okay.
Because they actually have to, think about it. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes, and I would say not all the time, or even the majority of the time, but I'd say 1 out of 3 times, it'll just stop, but there will be kind of this friendship shunning. And I think that would be a win here.
Oh, definitely.
That would be a win because she does not care at all about these girls. She is not friends with them.
Right. If anything, because what Hayashida said about the potential negative ramifications of making a big deal about the bullying is if it's not what the kid wants, because then suddenly it gets turned into a war zone, not of their own accord, and then they're not psychologically ready to handle the ramifications, not with the bullies, I feel like, but with the other kids in the classroom.
Yes, that's my worry as well.
Where the other kids in the classroom basically, as they've been doing so far, stay away from the bullied person.
The source of conflict.
The source of conflict, because they want to distance themselves from the chance that they could get turned on as well.
Right,
However,
However,
in this situation, Hina made the decision to leave that on the board. She did not erase it. She handled it very coolly and calmly when the teacher came in. She has sente, right? If this is shogi, she's got momentum right here, right? Now they have to respond to her move. And that's something that she's never had before. So even if it's something where they end up retaliating, it's like, good. Yeah, that's right, because you know that hurt you, right? Like I got you. Well,
Yeah, it's sente, like you were saying. It's that she has tempo here. So with her initiating, and her opponents have, maybe more experience. Sure. They know how to move their pieces a little bit better.
Right.
If you want to treat this like a shogi match, what I would say Hina is maybe willing to do here by just her actions here is she's willing to actually play a full game. So one of the things that I think that bullies tend to do is they don't commit all the way. Now, there are definitely bullies out there that are they're sadistic and they'll go all the way and they don't stop. But generally, and this is something that I think it was the grandpa who mentioned this, basically that there's so much power in being able to confront and just say, stop. This is enough. Yeah. Now, that's an oversimplification of the whole thing.
Sure,
but the gist of it is legit for a lot of bullies because
they're doing it callously.
Right, but they're not doing this because they're evil.
Right.
They're doing this because they get pleasure out of seeing, I would say, the reinforcement from their crew. So that's why generally I'd say most bullies that are like pretty successful, it's a weird way to put it, bullies, they have a squad around them that reinforces their negative behavior.
So that they keep getting the positive association and the positive feedback from what they're doing without any of the negative feedback, right? Because, they keep it so that they're not getting attacked back, right? And because they're the bullies, that's the whole point. They don't get attacked back, right? Because they're the people in the position of power in whatever circle
in
or
the social hierarchy,
right?
Or
exactly, whatever kind of power you're talking about, whether physical or social or whatever. So there's that idea of safety, right? And Hina just fired a broadside past the bow.
I still think that this is not that big of a move, Jacob. I think this is a mental win for her, but it is not an attack against them.
Well, okay. I beg to differ. But yes, it is definitely mainly a move for Hina's sake, where basically if this is shogi, they've been playing an offensive...
She just moved up to pawn, basically.
Well, they've been playing an offensive game, right? And they've been playing an offensive game without much thought for defense because they don't need to. No one can counterattack, right? Okay. And here she's actually... And, people just sort of lie over and, let them do whatever they want to do. Here, she's going for the defensive play of, okay, yeah, I see your offense, right? And I'm going, and I check you, basically. I put a threat on a piece, right? And now you have to respond to that. So it's this idea that now they have to actually think about defense. They have to think about the fact that now the teacher knows that there's bullying going on and all that stuff, and that Hina was completely unperturbed, it seemed, right? She handled it very well, seeing all the things that they put on the chalkboard, which was what they thought would have been an escalation, right? They thought that would have made her hurt and cower and things like that, and she didn't.
Yeah. That's what I'd say is good, is that's not something that's an attack against them yet. It's basically the threat of future attacks. What I would say it is it's similar to that, in that she basically did an example would be if she moves a pawn into a position where if you don't, move the specific piece that the pawn is going to out of the way, she'll take your piece basically there. But the big thing I saw about it was that the light coming into the whole classroom, what she did was make a move that everyone else was aware was a move.
Yes.
So they showed, or Hina showed the class how they can stand up basically to bullying in this way, is by being open, broadcasting public, and not trying to cover it up as a source of shame or anything like that, but just being like, I didn't do that. Someone else here did that.
I don't know why that should affect me. It's like, okay, someone else decided to do that. Cool.
Yeah. And if anything, if anything, there was maybe an attack thing, is that on your thing, I agree with you, is that there was potentially the possibility that she gave another student the opportunity who did see them do it to be like, yeah, I saw these 3 do it.
Sure.
And maybe no one saw them do it.
Right.
But maybe there was someone, and that's a potential thing where they're like,
and
looking around like no one else do anything, but there was probably one other person in the class like, should I stand up? Should I stand up?
And the idea that their rule has been predicated on fear, right? It's the fear of repercussion. That's why everyone has been like ostracizing Hina and staying away and all that stuff, right? Even though the bullies aren't actually eating lunch with them, right? So the fact that she did that and she basically said, I'm not afraid. That light coming into the classroom is this great thing where she's like, I feel like it's the thing where they might be the powerful pieces, right? If this were a shogi match, but she undermined the formation of like the pawns and things like that. I don't know how shogi goes, but if this was
chess, it's
right?
Chess. Just,
she broke the pawn that was providing support to the other pawn, so that now it's like, wait a minute,
there's isolation here,
right? Exactly. There's the idea that now the other kids might think, oh, okay, maybe I don't have to be so scared of them after all. Which
it's exciting. Now, with regards to how Ray handled things, I gotta say, you think back to season 1, right?
Yeah.
You think back to season 1, and this was a guy who just wanted to sleep all day. And basically just kind of forget everything. We now see him taking an active role in not only his own life, in developing and progressing his own life, but helping support other people in their struggles, in their endeavors. What's huge about that is that Ray used to have this idea that his energy, his support, his actions, what he brought to the table was insufficient. Like he couldn't actually be of a valuable help to any of these people here. So he just didn't do anything there. People would come to him naturally because he looks like a dying puppy. Basically like, please help me. And all these empathetic people come in there like, absolutely, we'll be here for you. He then, again, doesn't see himself worthy or valued enough to be helped here. He goes on a journey through season 1 realizing that he does have that value, that other people can have that, like have that influence in his life that builds him up in a positive way.
And that he can have that positive influence on other people as well.
And that's, I think, because of other people's actions and also the things that people like Hayashida have been teaching him over the course of just this school year, and the previous one. But what's crazy here is that Ray is so fired up about this that he's letting himself make like little mistakes, like things that aren't really like a big deal, but that's so good for him because then his confidence about acting, even when it's not the perfect best move or something.
Because I feel I feel like a lot of the time Ray didn't do things because, one, he was depressed as hell. But also the analysis paralysis thing where he's like, well, I'm not sure if it's my place. I'm not sure if it's my business. I'm not sure if this is the right thing to do. So I won't do anything, right? Whereas now he's a bit more comfortable with the relationships with these people that he's built up, and with himself and his own skin, and his own desires and wants and emotional, needs and feelings. That he is able to do things like this, like saying like, hey, why don't you go to her school and go play catch with her or something?
Was that the perfect thing to do?
Was that the
Probably not. But
it might end up turning out okay. But in another situation, it might not have gone too great. But hey, Hina's handling it well, and she knows that it was Ray trying to help, and it was also the other kid. What was his name again?
Takahashi.
It was Takahashi trying to help, and not just help Hina because they think that she's weak or anything, but just be a helping hand, because they care about her.
There was a lot of comedy that came from the whole Takahashi thing, although I find it really cool to see when he shows up. He's still kind of a just a simple 15-year-old, like I think he's 1 year older than them, so he would be a 15-year-old in high school and she would be 14.
A freshman in high school, and
so because okay, gotcha. So maybe maybe Hina might actually be a second year then.
And then he's a third year.
Right. So that actually, hold on. Well, anyways, the point is that he's older, and when he comes in though, and he has his whole moment of like showing his maturity and just being there, he also has his moment of immaturity, I'd say, accompanied with that, where he's all like, hey, You come play catch with us. And it's genius in the standpoint of removing the whole thing of, oh, she's a flirt. It's like, no, come see what we're doing.
Right,
but
exactly.
But then he totally did not hold back on that throw, which I gotta say, I have played with 15-year-old mutants in high school. When they hit that growth spurt at like 14, and over the course of 9 months they become a man. Like this guy, Takahashi, I know that Hina's, small and younger and stuff like that, so he might not be that big. Mm-hmm. But I'll just tell you, with a baseball, with the amount of speed,
fast.
He might have been throwing like a good 75 to like 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like it's not outside the realm of like implausibility,
And it's the perfect time to put in like those
outside the realm of plausibility.
Yeah. And it's the perfect way to put in like that Nichijou level like over exaggeration of stuff that like I think they use more in like sports anime type things,
Sure.
And it's like, and he's the sports person, so he sort of brings the sports anime here, and it's like, okay, cool,
right?
But the idea that there's all the throws that he's been doing, and it's been building up. Oh, she doesn't quite know how to catch it, so it's like, oh, it stings a little bit, right. And then they come in, and he's just like, yeah, sure, totally straight face. It doesn't look like he's doing it vindictive at all,
not at all.
And if he hadn't done this would have been potentially a great move for basically pacifying the situation, But he decides to do this,
which is not the best thing to do.
Which is well, let's just say it's not pacifying the situation.
No, it's not.
But it's wonderful.
Oh, I mean, we get a catharsis out of it, like for real, because
and
we're
just
like
the blowing the budget with the animation and just and the way it just smashes the chain link fence back, and it's like still
bends
being
it, and everything.
It's still being pushed back, and there's the wind, and everything, and
they just have this moment of sheer terror. I gotta say, I would have liked it if they had some way of like, showcasing that he maybe wanted to do that, but he knew it wasn't the right thing to do. But just the idea that since he's 15 and he does maybe have a little bit of Ray's like, injustice meter, like slightly.
Well, especially because he knew Chiho too.
Yes.
Like that's
so it makes sense. He's exercising a little bit of his frustration here, but like you could have like.
Well, he's the pitcher, so I'm sure he's very accurate. He knew where he was putting it, but
All they have to do is dodge the wrong way, though. Like I'm just telling you, a baseball thrown at like max speed by a very athletic 15-year-old who knows how to throw a baseball,
right,
can like cause like serious like skull cracking. Like,
if
damage.
it hit them, it would have been bad.
Hopefully they're still young enough that their bones are still a little bit softer, so they can kind of bend in a little bit without
it would have been bad either way if he had hit them.
I mean, on a number of levels, not just the injury stuff.
But the I feel like the fact that he talked about how he knew Chiho as well afterwards, that was really important, because otherwise it could just be seen as a thing of, I'm defending Hina or something like that. Which Hina can't really relate to as much, because then it makes her feel weak, right?
Oh, sure.
Whereas this basically saying that he's alongside her and wanting to basically avenge her friend, right? Because she was his friend too. That's something that can make her feel like, okay, yes, I have someone else in my court, right?
Right.
I'm not the only one. It's okay that I feel like this, and and everything.
Yeah.
And maybe helped give her the courage when when they wrote those things on the chalkboard to be like,
sure,
just okay,
sure. I think that's another good thing, is the whole idea of when you were like, oh, it's not like she died, but in a lot of ways they brought up in this episode,
people are treating it like she did.
People are treating it like she never even existed, and when you send a letter to someone like that, and you get back basically even more stuff about what part of your worst fear was with it, she wasn't able to do things at that
she's
school.
She's not going to school.
She's in she's in like a heart care rehab like center for like trauma or something, like emotional trauma or something. It's just like, oh my god, like
like they had her playing with colored blocks, like that. That's not something that you do when someone's doing well.
Well, I've had many friends and just people I know that I'm close to go to trauma care things, and it's not necessarily just something like bullying or something like this, but stuff where they have to recover, basically. And
in a very real way.
I can't imagine if I was 14 or 13 and being basically sent to something like that, what that would do to me, just psychologically, just the idea of having to go there.
Yeah.
Like like regardless of how helpful and effective it would be this moment of like disassembling.
Right.
Like I think that's a good way to describe it, is that it would basically disassemble me to core components, and I would lose things in there. Like I would genuinely like leave pieces of myself in there, and they wouldn't come out. And maybe that'd be good in the long run. But imagine coming back out and your friends being like, "You're different.
Right.
What happened to
you?" And
you don't even recognize yourself.
Because the thing is, doing something like that.
Jeez.
Okay. But this is in the formative years when when kids are like questioning, okay, who am I, right?
Yeah.
And then when they basically go to a place where the impression could very easily be communicated that there's something wrong with you, right? Yeah.
You better be very. I hope that Chiho has a very safe, wonderful environment to just redevelop herself, and I'm sure that actually, if anything, her story is going to be one that's very wholesome and recovering and stuff like that, because she's removed from this situation. They're going to find some way to redeem that. I really want to emphasize here, though, that Hina is not out of the woods just because she made this move here.
Yeah, no.
One of the things that's very, very chilling to me, was how the teacher handled things the first time.
Yeah.
And do you remember how Hayashida was like, she has one of those teachers.
Yeah.
Like, y'all, one of those teachers is basically like him saying, she got unlucky on the coin flip. This isn't like it's one of those 1 out of 10, like 1 out of 20, like one of those rare teachers. It's more like, like I deal with this all the time. There's so many teachers like that. Why are there so many teachers like that? Meaning that if they get other teachers involved, other faculty, they could get more of those people.
Yeah.
And this could just be, from a higher up perspective, just said, no, you're making something bigger out to be than it is.
Well, that's why I love the whole her not erasing the chalkboard, because it's kind of like a slap to this teacher, right?
Yes.
And it's basically saying, do your damn job, and you have to now literally clean up and acknowledge your mess, right?
Yep.
That you let be perpetuated in this classroom, right?
Right. Now here's the thing. The look the teacher had on her face was scared. I just want to acknowledge that.
Sure,
it was not something of sadness. It was not something of anger.
Right.
It was not something of disgust, really.
You could chalk it up.
Shock, and then I think it was fear.
You could chalk it up to just shock, I feel like, because she's been oblivious, but yeah, I don't know.
But I think her look at the class was that she's not really prepared for this.
Well, and she did ask Hina, "What's this?" Like as if Hina would know, like as if Hina wrote it. Like,
that shows, in my opinion, a sheer lack of confidence in her ability with conflict resolution.
Sure, and that's probably why she brushed it off in the first place. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But this is something that I've always wondered about teachers in general, because I've never been a traditional teacher, and I don't know too many people actually that were traditional teachers at a public school, stuff like this. When you have a problem like this, I don't actually know how much authority/power they give you to directly solve the situation, which is why Hayashida, when he mentioned like the way things could go badly, is that they start handing out pamphlets on like, here's how that bullying should be stopped better. It's a very indirect method.
Right. The most that the teacher could probably do would be maybe to send kids to the principal's office.
Right. Or maybe talk to the parents of said kids that they suspect to be bullying and saying, please handle this.
But if the teacher is this blind and turns a blind eye like this, can you imagine what the parents must be like? Because the fact is, the fact is,
I never assume anything about parents.
Don't assume. But I would not be surprised at all. The fact that these kids are like this, that their parents probably think that little Sally and little Johnny, oh no, they're just perfect little angels.
Yes, I totally think that the parents, in the best possible way, they are unaware. They're unaware.
Yeah.
And that also the problem is starting at home, because generally, generally speaking and stuff, kids are sponges. Yep. Like let's be real here.
Yeah.
Kids are absorbent, wonderful little sponges that take in everything from their environment and regurgitate it out.
Right.
Like if you hear your kid at 4 years old saying something, they heard it. They had to hear it from something.
The same thing that kids adapted to, say, thousands of years ago. We're still adapting the same way, now. So just with how different the world was back then, and they're still able to adapt to it just fine. If you create a different world in your little microcosm of a home,
they will adapt to it.
Yep.
And in some ways, they will learn the patterns from it. So I am looking forward to this arc, this story, since we're still kind of going into it, and it's been very, I would say, slow and methodical with how they're orchestrating all the characters and moving things. I want more stuff with the Kawamotos as a family unit, as a group together, because they're so broken as a family in a lot of ways. I need to see this area of basically an attack on the Kawamoto family being something that knits them even tighter together. Because the reason why I'm worried, y'all, is because any kind of conflict that turns basically a person against a group isolates the person regardless of whether or not they win. So
sure,
this is the thing. Hina can win here. She could definitively crush bullying in the school. However that works out. Do you see a situation, though, where Hina ends up still being somewhat shunned because of basically how this whole thing was handled? I see multiple.
I definitely see multiple. Here's the thing. I also see that in situations where that happens, while her friend group would absolutely change, right? And there would be a whole bunch of people that wouldn't interact with her.
Which is currently zero, by the way.
Which is currently zero. So, it's like, how bad could it be? There would be those few kids that would basically be like, that was really cool. Like, that was really cool. And
hushed whispers.
Well, I think that they won't say anything while the battle is raging.
Oh, gotcha.
But once the battle's over,
gotcha,
right, then it'll be like, okay, all right, the shooting stopped, right? I can come out and actually be like, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And see, this is assuming best case scenario where the bullying is absolutely stopped, which I don't think can actually happen fully.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like because of the mentality that Hina has taken, and this could just be a good day, right? There are good days and bad days, right?
Either way,
this is definitely a good day, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that Hina has basically, dug deep and found this inner strength within herself, that
from anger.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is absolutely fine in my mind.
Okay.
Because the thing is that she's not going to be fighting them in the same way that they fight, right? She might. She still hits and kicks and all that stuff. But the thing is that because she's found that inner strength within herself, they will not be able to affect her in the same way again. It'll be different ways, and it'll still be bad, and it'll be all these other things, and she will have the bad days probably, right? But this is a milestone. This is a checkpoint that she, as a person, will not be able to go back behind, right?
Yeah.
This is a new floor for her.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so excited.
Okay, y'all. I love that we're getting so much into this aspect of the show here.
Yeah.
Because a lot of shows, I would say, tend to avoid, I would say, the complications surrounding this problem, and they make it too simple. And or they make it too, I would say, over dramatized and unrealistic.
Yeah, or or like preachy, where it's like, we're going to teach a lesson about bullying, or something like that.
Well, yeah, I see less of those and more of just the simplified, like black and white aspect of it.
And one of the
yet this just is presented in such a colorful way.
Yes, and one of the things that I think is a big deal of how it does this, and it blew me away, because with this show, it has a very slow burn beat to it,
plot,
right?
Yeah,
exactly. And it does that very well. And I feel like this episode showcased that splendidly, because one of the things that I love to see in stories, and I love analyzing those parts, is when they use the moments where there isn't as much there to highlight something, right?
Right.
And the conversation that Ray and Hina had, and even though a lot of it wasn't talking,
yeah,
that whole scene was absolutely fantastic, because
which scene specifically?
With them playing shogi.
Yeah,
gotcha, because they spent so much time on it, right? Like they spent a lot of time on it, and the whole thing of Ray being like, "Hey, just little bit by little bit, I'd love it if you could tell me what's going on, That was fantastic, because those kinds of moments in real life are what make us bond with other people, right?
Yeah,
like the fact that
definitely
the fact that Ray originally was just a wounded puppy that Akari saw at the club she worked at, right?
Right.
And she brought home, one day, right? Ray's not that anymore.
Yes.
Right? Ray is family. Ray is family, and it's because of things like this, right?
Yep.
They have things like this that help Ray, but then there's Ray have like offering things like this for Hina and the like, and now these bonds will never be broken, right?
Yeah.
And that in a story is something that you just want in general, to have bonds between characters like this. So I would say for any writers out there, take note. This scene in particular was absolutely fantastic, and if you can work scenes like this, even if you don't have bullying or things like that, even if the circumstances are different, if you can work scenes like the shogi scene into your own stories, then people will love your characters, because they're not characters anymore, they're people.
Yeah, I think that's really special, and in some ways Akari helped set that up. Being like, hey, take this upstairs, we're gonna do our bath thing, which is cute, because it's reminding us, yes, their bath is in the living room,
right? Yeah,
they have a small place and stuff. They do what they can, but it's also saying, hey, Hina and Ray, like, you guys go have some alone time, like, just bond together a little bit.
Exactly.
And I think Akari's aware that not only is there that bonding dynamic that's very helpful, because one, Ray is in a better position than her even to help Hina,
right? Because he's a third party. It's the idea that he doesn't stay at the house all the time, right? So he's this great friend and everything, and there's also the whole idea of the if they do the romantic subplot between the two of them and all that, but there's this idea that Hina can tell him about her problems and what she's going with, and she doesn't have to worry about that being a constant presence. If she says something that she doesn't want to, or if maybe he doesn't respond exactly the way she wants to, whereas with Akari, she also knows kind of how Akari will respond.
Exactly.
Which is maybe not what she needs right now. So, yeah, and she probably also sees that Akari holds things, close to her chest as well. So that makes her not feel as comfortable sharing.
She doesn't want to burden Akari, because she knows Akari's also in pain a lot, dealing with all this stuff. That is very much a thing that I would say younger siblings think about when they think about like their parents. And let's be real, Akari is in a parental role right now. That might be also another part of it. Why Hina doesn't want to talk to Akari about this as much is because Akari is maybe trying to pretend too much like a mother, try to be a mother, and that's something that Hina recognizes.
And maybe she just needs a sister right now.
She just needs a sister, yeah.
Yep.
Big thing going on with Ray and Shogi. He is genuinely like plowing, like
he's fired up and doing well,
just going straight forward with everything here, and he's like got his goals set on like 7-figure earnings. Now,
7-figure earnings of yen, so that's 5-figure earnings.
I don't care. Dollars. 5-figure innings of dollars, Jacob.
Right, and over how long a period of time is this
like
exactly?
A month or two.
Yeah, like that's crazy. That's crazy.
Like, y'all, that's actually nuts. Like,
he just like pays off the Kawamoto's house or whatever. It's like
buys them a new house. Like,
yeah.
It's just a bit crazy right now with what they're doing with Ray with this whole financial side of things, which I'm glad we noticed that earlier on in the show, because now it's like, well, wait a minute. We actually don't know exactly what he's going to be doing with all these
because
money.
He said pay you back, so it's like, okay, and I get the idea that he's basically saying the fact that I would be able to do this well at shogi is because of how you have helped me, right? So it doesn't feel like this money is mine kind of a thing, but
what does that mean exactly?
And what would that money even be used for? Like yeah,
no, like I love everything that brings the Kawamotos and Rei closer together, and this whole storyline is that to 11.
Yes.
So
absolutely,
let's have
110%
more of
yes.
that. And y'all, that's the show right now. So thank you so much for getting us to watch the show. It's so good. Oh, I remember people on the Discord like a year ago being like, please, like, March comes in like a lion, please.
I wasn't sure how great of a reaction this would make for, because I didn't remember as much of the details, but I knew that this was like a more somber, slower type show.
Right, because you had watched the first like 10 episodes.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I was like, okay, but will it make for a great reaction? Like, everyone talks about the second season so much, but like I don't know what the second season's like, but first season's 2 cours, so
here we are,
But here we are, and oh boy.
Oh my god. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. Any level support comes with our Discord access, so you can chat with us about stories. There's a cool buzz happening for something that Jacob's representing on his shirt right now. Which, by the way, you can also check out link in the description for ordering his book there. It's pretty awesome.
Doesn't at all involve bonding moments between characters, like, I'm just saying.
So yeah. Check it out. But yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.